Welcome to The Impossible, where we empower others to face the impossible, inspire them to be impossible, and motivate them to do the impossible. I'm your host, Matthew Hill, and I'm back here today with my brother and our master of arms, Mr. Austin Douglas. How you doing today, sir?
Fantastic. Hello, everyone.
Good. You guys have heard us talk a lot about here recently this idea of reconnecting with our own humanity. And it's driven by so many factors. First off being that I think that's the most beautiful piece of our species, of who we are, that humanistic piece that you don't necessarily find in any other walk of nature. And the other lever, or the other side of that, is that in the age of AI, in the age of technology, in the age of social media and online and everything growing at an inconceivable rate right now, there's the big question out there of AI is going to take our jobs. What's going to be left for us? Well, I think the one thing that we can rest easily in knowing that AI cannot replace is our own humanity. So this is why we've been talking about this so heavily and pulling out those parts within us, those impossible pieces of who we are, creating that potential that we hold within, and finding ways to not just reconnect with that humanity, but to enhance it and to bring it out to its highest potential. And one of the best ways we can do that is through a focus on what we put into our body, especially from a nutritional perspective. So today we have Mr. Brian Heller of Heller's Harvest here on TikTok, Instagram. He is growing and connecting and rebuilding that aspect of humanity, and where we came from human evolution for thousands of years, and learning to cultivate, to build, to grow our resources, our nutrition from the ground. So he's going to talk today about reclaiming that humanistic piece in our nutrition. So Brian, thanks for being here today.
No, you're welcome. And don't forget, Facebook and YouTube as well.
Facebook and YouTube as well, absolutely. We'll put all those links down.
We're really growing.
Well, that's how you start your videos, right? You're like, how's it growing, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
How's it growing, everybody?
Yeah,
Yep.
I love that. I love that because it's such a great tagline, and it's reflective of what you guys are doing.
We wanted something clever,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and that's what we settled with right there.
For sure.
And it works. Everybody likes it.
Mm-hmm. So talk to us. When did you come up with the idea? Because I assume you've been doing this for a while. This like growing, and I think the social media side of it is a little newer development in the last couple of years.
Brand
right?
new.
Yeah, yeah. So take us back to kind of the beginning of when you started growing, cultivating. What inspired you to do that? Got your passion and interest built up in that?
So, like, my entire life, really. When I didn't start really getting into it and participating until I was about 7, 8 years old. Mm-hmm. My grandparents had what would be a paradise to any kid as kids growing up, to me and all my cousins. You walk into their backyard and there is rows of raspberries, blackberries, gooseberries, currants, strawberries. There was a McIntosh apple tree, Italian plum tree, a mulberry tree. I mean, you walk back there as a kid and you see all this fruit, we would throw down.
Yeah.
We'd, at holidays, in the summertime for Memorial Day or 4th of July, we'd go in their backyard before dinner. We're going to go play football. We'd come back in full, could barely eat dinner, and they're like, you don't eat all the berries out there. But also a massive garden, and they grew all manner of vegetable and tons of fruit. And these people lived through the Great Depression. Mm-hmm. So buying vegetables and things like that from the store, that was like sacrilege to them. No, we'll grow our own. And you could tell even back then the difference between what they were growing and how it tasted and what you'd get at the grocery store. It was just, it was something I grew up with, got really into, and from 7, 8 years old, I was picking, planting, pulling weeds. I was doing the whole 9 yards. And I always knew, except I had, even then, I'm going to grow this instead of this, that kind of idea. I always knew I was going to have a massive garden.
Yeah. Yeah, I had an experience actually earlier this week down at the store. One of our customers brought in he said he started like an organic vegetable garden.
Right.
And so he brought in this load of, he had, like butter crunch lettuce, cabbage, arugula, which I love arugula, and this big giant leafy spinach. And he said, make sure you wash it off because it's still got some of the dirt on it. He said, you're going to notice like holes in the leaves because he doesn't spray pesticides or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So I actually took it that day. I happened to have a container of ground beef as like one of my meals that day. So I took it and I took a bunch of that arugula out and just put it in a bowl, heated up the ground beef, put it on top.
Great
just
peppery
made like
flavor.
Oh, dude, just made like a salad. Didn't even put dressing on it or anything. And I'll tell you what, I'm a big fan of like an arugula steak salad. This was the best arugula I'd ever had in my life. Like I could have just about cried eating this stuff. It had that sharp bite of the pepper.
Yep.
It had that rich juiciness from the leaf itself. So talk to us about what's the difference between like something grown like that in an organic home garden versus a like the arugula we'd buy in a store, or even we'd get in like, because I've had salads at like high-end steak restaurants that were not remotely that
No,
good.
they don't taste like nothing.
Yeah. So what's some of the big differences going on there?
Well, I mean, when you grow your own, like you're getting it from your buddies, you had it fresh at peak ripeness. When you're getting it at the store, they're picking it way early, and you're getting it late. Now, every second, from the time you cut it, every single second, you're losing nutrients and flavor. And that's the big thing, flavor. You are growing in your house, your soil's nutrified, you're growing for flavor and nutrition. And of course, you want big vegetables, big yields, but you also want the vitamins that come with it. Now, you're not getting that at any restaurant or grocery store. They're growing for as much as they can, as fast as they can, as big as they can get it, for shelf life, for storage life. This is what they want. They don't care about nutrition. They don't care about taste. Yeah. If it looks good but tastes like nothing, you're going to have to eat twice as much to get the nutrition out of what you grow at your house.
I see.
You know, we're amending our soil. We're putting, compost and fertilizers and nutrients back into our soil. And I grow all organic. And even your pesticides, you can get pesticides that are all organic that work great. Yeah. Since I switched to all organic, the difference has been night and day, honestly, for size, for yield, for taste, everything. So when you're getting this arugula and you can feel you bite into it and it's got that sharp snap and the peppery flavor, and I like old school arugula, rocket. That stuff is skinny, long, and it really has, like you just hit the pepper shaker, man. Yeah. That's what it tastes like. I love that stuff. It is so good. Oh. Your lettuces are the same way. You get a good romaine or a butter crunch or anything you get out of your garden, it's going to have a nice snap to it, and you're going to taste flavor in it. You get it at the restaurant, and you're not going to taste nothing except for whatever dressing you're putting on your salad. Yeah. It's a vast difference. The main reason I like growing a garden is for the flavors. I hadn't even thought about nutrition. The flavors, I'll take the Pepsi Challenge with anything they're growing at the grocery store. Bring it to my house. You can pull whatever out of my garden, and it's going to be a night and day difference.
Well, that's what really blew me away, because we've obviously known, like, from the nutrition standpoint, from the health and wellness standpoint, as far as like getting the artificial pesticides and the fertilizers and that stuff out of it. We know there's a huge difference there, particularly us being cancer survivors. We're very focused on that longevity that we can still pull out of our bodies. So we knew that difference, but it was until this week when I had that taste difference that just absolutely blew me away. I mean, I'm not kidding. Like, I felt like any dressing I added to it would have ruined the salad, because it would have just covered up that rich flavor. And the arugula was more flavorful than the beef,
right?
Which I'd never experienced before. Yeah. Like that was a wild thing to experience.
That was releasing endorphins into your brain.
Dude,
and making you happy while you're eating it.
I kept talking about it, and everybody's like, "What are you talking about that so much?" And I'm like, I could seriously just about cry right now.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
No, granted, I was on a, I'm still cutting right now, and that was my last day before check-in. So I was like,
this is the best food ever.
I was primed and ready for it, but yeah, that was the first time I'd ever had this like really sharp contrast in the flavor profile specifically. And I think that's something, I wonder, because you see it at restaurants. You go there to get a salad at a restaurant, which everybody thinks is going to be super healthy. In most cases, these salads have like 12 or 1,400 calories in them because they use these fatty soybean oil dressings to bring out any amount of flavor that just adds loads and loads of calories. You're going to have a salad that has more calories in it than a steak dinner does.
Isn't that crazy?
It's unbelievable. So it's like, well, if we just grew better stuff and didn't need like maybe you could have a light dressing or something on it, but honestly the salad I had did not need a dressing. So if we just grew better stuff, got rid of the dressings, then you're creating a much healthier dish with a much better taste profile as well.
And not just that, you're lacking anywhere from 7 to 85% of the vitamins and nutrients that used to be in those very vegetables.
Yeah.
And that's happened through time. It's like walking into a grocery store now. You can pick any manner of vegetable and fruit. Stuff that you know is not in season. It's winter time. They got strawberries out.
Yeah, we can get mangoes.
Lettuces.
Yeah, we get mangoes at Kroger.
Right,
Yeah.
right. You're like, what is going? They don't grow for nutrition. They're growing. A lot of it is hydroponically grown. Even your organic is a very loose term. You got to be careful of where you're getting it. They've had problems with getting stuff from overseas labeled organic and find out this ain't organic.
Yeah.
Well, you don't really know if it's organic or not. They're supposed to be doing regular checks on all these organic companies.
Yeah.
Are they there all the time doing these checks? I mean, the only way you truly know if you're getting organic is if you grow it yourself, and that's it. You know, and I don't have a problem with someone using whatever you want. You want to use chemical fertilizers and pesticides, go ahead. You're still going to have more vitamins and nutrients than anything they're growing out in any commercial field, because they're not growing for that. They're growing for speed, size, and shelf life, and that's what they want. And they can get it just by spraying the crap out of all these vegetables and fruits so that they're pumped up and jacked up, and then poof, they pick them all and redo it all over again. So if you can get 6 yields in a year compared to 2 yields of organic, that's what they're going to do. And they're going to pick it way early. You're losing flavor. Yeah. It might have a 2-week ship time. Well, the biggest vitamin that's lost during this time is vitamin C.
Okay.
You can lose almost all of the vitamin C in any fruit or vegetable through ship time. That goes quick.
Yeah.
So if you're eating peppers at home, loaded with vitamin C. You're eating peppers at the grocery store, very little vitamin C. So it's like I said, you have to eat twice as much, 5 times as much out of the grocery store as you would have to eat out of your house to get the same nutrition.
Yeah.
That's an easy decision for me, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's scary to think about.
It is too. And there's a ton of cancer fighting properties during any one specific, but when you combine all of them, especially all different colors, there's so many cancer fighting properties in these, it's not even funny. And if you have a healthy, well-rounded diet of all these fruits and vegetables, it's just like boosting your immune system, not just to fight cold and flu, but disease as well. And you're ready for combat. You know, you're not just healthier and feeling better, which you will.
Yeah.
You're ready for combat, and it's important to longevity.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like, you know, so many people out there today will, if you start talking about this concept of food as medicine, there's a lot of people in like the mainstream medicine world, or even just in regular society, that like, oh, that's crazy, that's voodoo science, that's like witchcraft. And it's like, well, I mean, we evolved for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years eating these foods, and like that was the key to our health and wellness and longevity. Like all of the medicine we had for the longest period of time, even today, a lot of commercial medicines today all came from plants at one time or another. You know, whether it's like a lot of chemotherapies can be derived from nightshades. Aspirin comes from is it like willow bark tree, or it's one of the bark trees. Yeah. So it's like a lot of medicines came from plants initially. And foods that we find in nature. So it's like, why would we think that there is this strong disconnect? Not only that, it's like that is literally the fuel that we have to run on.
Do you know why?
Why's that?
Because pharmaceutical companies want to keep you in the dark. Yeah. That's the truth. Yeah, so they can take all this stuff away, make you believe you're crazy for thinking that. Yeah. Take this pill instead.
Yeah. There's strong commercial drive, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Both with the growing and on the pharmaceutical side as well. Austin, what's your experience with? Because I know you grew up on a large farming operation. Your dad had like crop share.
What did he do?
I'm just like curious, like your experience from going from that to now, like you source organic from the store, and you're very careful about like what you're purchasing and what you're grabbing. Like, what's been kind of your evolution in this journey?
Not to take a too long story, but there's kind of a trifecta of that, where the most recent is me, like I'm going in and certainly consuming a lot more fruits and vegetables just on the daily, but having to rely upon the store and trying to search for the best, and especially because there are a couple of Kroger's up now where I live up in northwestern Columbus that provide like an actual local section.
You over by Gahanna?
No, northwest, so up there by Powell.
Okay.
And so I have they have a local section for produce, which is really, really cool. Whether it's local or not is something that I can't confirm or not, but at least it does taste a lot better than the back portion of the actual produce. But that's been especially a big focus here, coming off of the most recent relapse that I had. I did a bone marrow transplant, so I went through 6 days in a row of chemo that would have killed me. It's called the Beam Regiment, and it's some nasty stuff. And I mean, it's taken some aspects of my life. It's been months to recover from that, just 6 days of chemo. And so trying to better myself and better my immune system, because it was also an immune system reset. So all of the B cells within my lymphatic system, immune system, all of those were erased.
Wow.
And so like all of the memory from everything that every cold, every flu, every allergy,
you're starting from scratch.
I'm starting from scratch.
It's a hard reset.
It's a hard reset, and so
B is one of the most lost vitamins through the past 40 years in all of our fruit and vegetables.
And that's why, like, especially seeing something like Battle Flow here, you have vitamin B6 and B12, and especially B complexes is something that I definitely took up until recently. I stopped. But
remember this: supplements are only supplemental.
Right.
A bulk of this has to come through your foods.
Mm-hmm. And that's where the switch over, like especially fruit has been my carbohydrate source. Like fruit and sweet potatoes have been my carbohydrate source for ever.
Right on.
And then the addition of vegetables especially has come in, especially with the help of my new leading lady, keeping me on track.
Right on.
So I'm very, very thankful for her. But then, so that's kind of like the first of the trifecta. The second was when I was growing up, my grandfather had a garden, and it was a 1/4 acre. And I mean, it was
nice.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. I mean, corn, sweet corn, strawberry patch, melons, squash. He had 2 rows of vines, so like raspberries, blackberries. I'm trying to think of what else.
Probably grapes.
No grapes, but we had watermelons, cantaloupe. He loved cantaloupe, and so I don't know if cantaloupe and muskmelon. I don't know if those are the same or different, but yeah, it was just that was a really great time. So going over there, helping him, like I did the weeding, I did the sowing, to plant, and then the weeding, and just kind of going over and occasionally picking out of the strawberry patch whenever they were ripe, because strawberries off of like
you can't beat them, man.
No.
There's no store-bought strawberry can compete.
That's what my daughter's doing right now. She's out strawberry picking. I think at
Marietta.
What's the one up there?
Shots, is it?
It's not Witten's. It's the other one out that way.
I know we go.
But regardless, that's what she's doing right now.
But yeah, and so just like that is a fond memory. Those, and then the red raspberries, picking them off the vines was just phenomenal. And so that was my experience growing up of like, and obviously with the sweet corn, we'd freeze it.
So do you grow a massive garden now?
No, not yet. No. Well, the place that I moved into, gardening is not allowed in the backyard. But
HOA.
Yes.
Tons of ways around it.
I'll have to try.
I'll tell you after this.
But especially Wade is also, I know, very interested in growing his own stuff, because Wade is very, very particular about the nutrients that he takes in and the food the food that he selects. But especially like after this lease that I'm on, we're definitely getting a garden. I mean, it's going to be a very paramount portion of what I do going into life in the future. So, and then kind of the third piece of that is that my father grew up crop farmers, and so corn, soybeans, and so like that portion and that side of the family as well. It was really interesting, because that is where I learned about genetically modified corn and soybeans for all the pesticides,
glyphosate
and glyphosate. It's a conversation I don't want to get into on the microphone, but like just seeing the different pesticides, insecticides, or herbicides, I suppose, and then fungicides, and then everything that they were doing to the actual, like to the DNA of the corn and the soybeans as well. I had just a brief glimpse into that because I was studying agronomy back in high school, and I was going to OSU for agronomy. And agronomy and kind of like a focus on the soil sciences. Absolutely loved getting in the dirt. Did that in FFA, and went to the national contest for both urban and rural, like the soil competitions that they have.
I am shocked you're not a farmer right now, man. That would have tied into horticulture so good.
Yeah, big. Lots of jumping around in my life, but like, and so that's where I've had the experience of kind of all three, of growing your own crops with grandpa, of large scale farming with dad and that side of the family, and then now kind of culminating all of that together to the experience of what I know about like when the USDA has the label on there that says organic. I'm like, all right, let's
investigate this.
There's more than a sentence or two that I need to be like reading on what's going on here. But then secondly, just having that awareness of like in the future what I can do in order to grow my own, and that because that's something that I most certainly look forward to. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun because that's obviously more than just the healthy side of it. It's just sentimental for me,
I think I'm truly shocked that you are not into some type of growing of anything. As much farming and gardening experience as you had.
Yeah.
Like that shocks me. I think corn more than anything else is the most genetically modified, and some good and some bad, and you're going to get that. But like when I was growing up, peaches and cream and silver queen, everybody was growing that.
Yeah, peaches and cream.
Those don't even break the top 100 in sweetest corns now.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
there's so many. Yeah, I grow an Illini. It's about 65, 70-day corn. You can plant. In West Virginia, you can plant 3 in a year and get all 3 harvests.
Oh,
and
wow.
it's the sweetest corn you ever. Sugar buns. That's not a SH variety, but it's still in its own right. It's a SU variety. Very sweet, man. I mean, there's tons of really good fast turnover corns out there. Trying to find non-GMO stuff, it isn't that difficult if you're going through the right seed companies. There's plenty of seed companies out there that don't want any of that crap. And you got to put in your due diligence and do your research, just like anything else. And it's like you said earlier, when you ask people, why don't you grow a garden? Why don't you grow something? I just don't have the time. Yeah. Yes, you do. You absolutely do. I mean, you can make a ton of excuses up, but excuses are just lies that we tell to ourselves. So we feel better about not doing it. And it's the truth. I work anywhere from 10 to 12 hours a day. I go lift for another hour or two. I go home. We have 4 kids. We're doing all kinds of running. I still grow a massive garden. You can do all these things. You're going to have to sacrifice time somewhere. Cut the, you can sacrifice the time now, or you will have to sacrifice the time at some point to a doctor or a surgeon and the pharmaceuticals. You're going to have to. Because you're going to have health problems, man. It's amazing the amount of people now that are obese or overweight in this country, and it's from 100% the food. I mean, not 100%. A lot of it is from this too. But kids, like I said, it's 1 in 3 kids are overweight or obese. They're on this all the time, but they're also eating a ton of processed foods that got all kinds of crap that just ain't allowed in other countries, only here in that food. You can remedy a lot of that. I'm hungry. All right, well, here's a bunch of crap from the garden, and if you're growing a ton of stuff, there's plenty of other options that replace all those processed foods. And I'll go a step further. Your meat, that's just as important. All manner of meat, whether you're hunt or fish or not, you can still find local sources that don't, our cows are grain fed. We don't inoculate them. We don't spray any of our grasses. This is the kind of stuff you should be looking for because your body, it's going to absorb all that. All the chemicals that are sprayed, all the pesticides, all the chemical fertilizers, those plants are absorbing that. And if a cow or a pig's eating whatever, and it's been sprayed, it's going into their meat as well. You're absorbing all that through time. this is doing some damage, man. 100%. There ain't no doubt about it.
Yeah.
You know, if you can go all organic, I mean, I don't know if anyone can truly go all organic, but you could alleviate maybe 70%, 80% of that just by doing, you know, as much of your own stuff as you can, by sacrificing the time.
Yeah, and it's like we spend a lot of time talking about time because that's the number one excuse we get for everything. And it's, you know, it's funny because everybody always spends 24 hours a day. Mm-hmm. We always spend every single human on the planet spends the exact same, we have the exact same budget and the exact same expense every single day at the end of the day. You know, so it's not about, I don't have enough time, it's where can I find the time, where can I make the time, if this is truly a priority to me, which our physical health absolutely should be a priority, because that's how we are able to do more with the time we have. So I think you're right. Like, the time by default is not, I don't think any excuses are acceptable in any situations, but time especially is not an acceptable excuse. So I want to get some like actionable insight for people, because I think there's a lot of people thinking or listening to this that are thinking, okay, this makes sense. I want to try to do something like this, or at least I want to take steps to put better stuff in my body. So I want to go down some different paths here and just showing people what this process can look like. First of all, I'd like to have your insights on what exactly is organic versus not organic, because I think we're all familiar with the term organic, but like you said, it can be a loose term. It can be either USDA certified organic or not, but even that USDA certification doesn't necessarily mean that it's 100%, you know, tried and true, no questions whatsoever. And the only way you can really know is if it's something you grow yourself, or, you know, somebody you know grows it and you know their exact process. So what is organic versus non-organic? Why should we prioritize organic foods? And then from there, how can people start to incorporate this in their life? I'd love to see, like, for somebody who's never gardened before, like, what is a game plan they could take right now, this spring, summer coming into growing season? What's a plan they could take to just start getting into this, start growing some of their own stuff?
Okay, so organic and non-organic. I'll start with like pesticides. Mm-hmm. I use on my vegetables and fruits either BT or spinosad. These are both bacterial, so there's no chemicals. Okay. These are bacterial. They attack pests from inside. They're bacteria that will get inside and eat these pests alive. So I know that's brutal, but it's the truth, you know, and they work. They work very well. The BTs will only work on soft-bodied insects such as caterpillars and little worms on your vegetables, stuff like that. So I haven't really used that a whole lot. I've been leaning more towards the spinosad because that will attack beetles and everything else as well. So I grow a wide range of vegetables and fruits and a ton of different flowers. Mm-hmm. I have all manner of insect back there, both pests and beneficials. Mm-hmm. A lot of the beneficials I bring in will eat the pests, but not all of them. Yeah. So I'll have to spray, and I'm trying to preserve 70% of the harvest. Mm-hmm. You're going to lose 30% to nature and pests, and you know that. It's just going to happen. Yeah. There's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. So you try to preserve as much of it as you can, and I do this organically, and I never used to do that. Mm-hmm. I was using Ortho or 7-Dust, and all that, you know. I never felt good about it. Never. I hated to use it. I would literally wait until my crops were almost decimated before I'd use it, because I just knew, man, I'm going to be eating these. Yeah. We're going to be eating these. I don't want this crap in my body, you know. And it wasn't till I went organic a while ago, but later on they're coming out with all kinds of lawsuits against these companies because of the long-term effects of these things. And which is countries. Still, like, I can't start on glyphosate because I'll go on a tangent. The fact that they're still allowed to use it right now, I don't care if it cripples everybody. There's alternatives out there, man. Go get them. But the difference is the organic stuff, not only, and I'm not kidding, it works better, I think, than any of the Orthos or the 7 that I was using as far as pest control.
It seems like a more intelligent design.
Oh, yeah. And you don't have to stop there. You can go with pyrethrin, permethrin, both of those from flowers. And they kill with regularity, man. Those two are a little more deadly because they don't discriminate between pollinators, and like the spinosad, you're not gonna harm any pollinators.
Okay.
The parathyrin and permethrin, you will. So you want to use those at nighttime, and it will eradicate whatever is bothering your stuff quickly. But you're not, you could literally eat your stuff 24 hours after you've sprayed them in no harmful side effects. With the spinosad and the BT, the next day you could eat it.
Yeah.
You can't do that with, you're going to be chomping down poison if you try that with Ortho or 7 or any of that other stuff. The benefits are your plants aren't absorbing all that crap. It's not in your vegetables. It's not in your fruits. It's far better for you. And chemical fertilizers, same way. They're man-made. So I don't know. Like I don't think, honestly, if you're using Miracle Grow or anything like that, they won't label it organic. But I mean, really, you're talking about maybe iron, zinc, magnesium, and they don't want to consider this organic. It's kind of organic, you know. I don't have a problem with people doing that at all. You're not harming your plants, you're not harming your soil, and you're not harming yourself. Mm-hmm. It's okay. It's safe.
Yeah.
You know, they talk about runoff and things like that. Well, I mean, you're getting runoff from manure that can cause damage. So,
Yeah.
I mean, and there's a lot more manure than anything else, you know. It's completely up to you how you want to grow. As I said before, even if you are going the route of, you know, harmful pesticides and man-made fertilizers, you're still going to get more nutrients in your food and flavor than you're going to get at the grocery store, you know. And what was your second question?
Yeah, so it was, I guess, to kind of make sure I fully understand that myself, it sounds like organic is when you grow it with more like biological processes as far as
natural
biological processes as far as the pesticides, the fertilizers, the herbicides, whereas non-organic would be very synthetic, very man-made, very chemical based.
That's exactly
which
it.
Those small molecule chemicals are always going to lead more downstream effects in the human body than the biological approach.
I do have a problem with a lot of stuff they won't and will label organic. I think it's always up for great debate on a lot of it, and you know this through farming. You could go either way on a lot of stuff that they won't label organic, and vice versa. So I think as long as it's not like a poison, a harmful poison.
Yeah.
I mean, you should, if it's coming from the earth, it should be labeled organic.
Yeah.
It's like volcanic rock.
Yeah.
Well, it's not organic. It kind of is organic, man. You know?
Yeah, it's kind of, well, because in terms of like science, like organic means carbon based. You know?
Correct.
Which volcanic rock is heavily carbon based.
We're carbon based.
Yeah, we're organic. So yeah, I can see how the lines can be delineated there. But okay, so going into the second phase of that, then I guess I've got two parts to this because I want to give people some actionable insight of like what can you do right now today, and then in the next coming weeks, months, years to start incorporating this into your life if people would have no experience whatsoever. And the first group I would ask about is for people kind of in like Austin and Wade's situation where he's traveling to a different part of the country every single week.
Yeah.
And he spends 2 days at his house, which he's blocked by an HOA and a lease that keeps him from starting a garden. You know, if he fought it to the nth degree, he could probably incorporate it in, but truthfully, it's just not a great option for him right now. If
he could argue this against his HOA.
Yeah.
You have to break my lease for my health. For health reasons, I have to grow a garden.
I see.
Here's all my proof. And give them some doctor's bills.
Yeah.
They wouldn't dare challenge you
4
on
years
that.
of chemo treatment.
They'd have to be foolish to challenge you.
So that there are ways around it, but say for right now, he's like, I'm going to shop in a store because it fits into my life better.
He's traveling all over the country, so that you have to.
It's difficult.
Yes. Whole Foods, I'd say that. There's Whole Foods in every state. You should be able to find one.
A Whole Foods market?
Yes.
Oh. I have to say I'm a little bit of a
He loves
I love Whole Foods markets very much so.
You can find real organic in Whole Foods.
Well,
100%.
Force of Nature is who I get my beef, venison, and elk through. So,
right on.
Yeah.
Man, we got plenty of cattle farmers around here.
Yeah. Well,
Plenty.
a chest freezer is an investment, so I need one big enough. So we're actually Wade and I are looking at one right now.
Right on.
Just to say.
But so you think, like, if you've got to go store bought, the best move people can make is get to like a Whole Foods or like a reasonable facsimile.
I would go to a farmer's market first.
Farmer's market first.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Find wherever, every city pretty much
Especially
has a
Columbus.
local farmer's market.
Mm-hmm.
And in Columbus, they're all over the place, man.
Yeah.
You should be able to find one there.
Yep.
And even around here, Athens has a really big one. Parkersburg has
Belfry's
one.
got it. One that's
Yeah,
starting to get
Marietta's
bigger.
got one.
Yeah.
I mean, you can find farmers markets all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to pay. You're going to find really good deals, and you're going to pay a little bit more. It fluctuates. It's all over the place, but you are going to get way better vegetables than you're going to get at the grocery store. Okay. Now, again, whether it's organic or not, I don't know. I mean.
Yeah. But at least you can talk to the
you
farmer.
can have a
You
chat
can
with
ask
them.
the farmer
That's-
what kind of chemicals are you using. You know?
Right. I'm like I don't trust nobody.
Yeah.
So I want to look in your eyes when I'm
Yeah.
talking to you
Yeah.
because I got like a sixth sense for that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, well, people can tell you whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
I think with farmers though, 90% of the time, you know, hey, mind if I come and check out your farm and see how you? Oh no, come on out.
Yeah.
You can trust that guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, if you can go out there and scope out their stuff and their style of growing and what they're doing and what they're using, this guy's got nothing to hide.
Yeah.
That's the advantage of that.
Okay, so that's good to know because, like you said, farmers markets are accessible everywhere.
Everywhere.
And that is probably by default going to be better than pretty much anything you might get at most major grocery stores.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, almost regardless of what they're growing. practices
Exactly.
are.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's going to have more of the flavor, more of the nutrient density, more or less of the harsh chemicals and
Yeah,
toxins.
yeah.
So that's a great option for people. For the people that are like, okay, I'm at a spot in my life where I could start dabbling in this. What's the best way to get started with
Well,
it?
the first thing you got to do is subscribe to Heller's Harvest. Start going through my videos.
Yeah.
I teach you how to do all this stuff,
Step
man.
by step. Yeah.
Now, I'm growing in raised beds. I prefer to grow in ground. In Michigan, I had the most black, rich soil ever. In West Virginia, I have 6 feet of clay. So I have to make my own soil, and I grow in raised beds. And I'm in the process of turning that clay into better soil. And I show people how to do this, all this stuff. Set up your beds, make your own soil, whatever, plant your seed, the whole 9 yards. I go through everything, start to finish. I even go into specifics. I have a general all-purpose soil for anything you want to grow. It's pretty good for just about anything. And then I'll go Calabrese broccoli. This is specific for this. Purple magic broccoli. This is specific. Slight, subtle differences, but there are differences. You have to know each plant and what it's needing. You have some heavy feeders, then you have some non-heavy feeders, and you have root vegetables, and you have tubers, and everything has a different nutrition requirement, just like us.
Yeah.
You know, I go through everything in that, and I'll take requests and show people how to do it. But if you're just starting at home and you're growing in ground, you got good soil.
Yeah.
I would say, you know, get a shovel, double dig, line where you want to grow your garden. Then I drop a couple bags of cow manure over everything I turned over, turn that in there, and start planting.
Yeah.
Start planting from there. And
what's the
then,
top five product or produce people should be planting? Start with.
I can tell you what people are planting. Most people.
What should they be doing?
Everyone in the nation grows tomatoes and peppers. That's what they grow, man.
Yeah.
They want cucumbers are wildly popular. In West Virginia, like a lot of people grow potatoes, man. Potatoes, and they have the soil for it too. Like Wood County is super good. Everybody out there grows really good potatoes. You know, great soil for it. But around the nation, the tomato is the most grown vegetable in the entire world. You can go to Uruguay and there's dudes over there with giant tomato gardens. You know, it doesn't matter. So everybody likes that. What you should be growing, well, you should be growing a mix of things. You know, I would say this: if you want the health benefits plus you want to feel good, Grow what you like to eat. Don't grow a bunch of crazy crap. Oh, look at this. No. Grow what you like to eat. Then after you master that and you're doing well with this and become successful with this, then you're inevitably, if you start somewhere, all of a sudden you're going to have, a garden 3 times the size you started with, because you're going to start growing everything. And it'll just branch out from there.
Yeah.
Grow tomatoes, grow cucumbers, grow lettuce, radish, easy stuff, arugula.
Yeah.
You got to be careful. Your lettuces, your arugulas, spinaches, as soon, and it's about to get hot, they're going to bolt. They're all going straight to flower. They don't like heat at all.
Yeah.
Even if you grow them in 100% shade, they're going to bolt.
Yeah.
Same with your cilantro, which makes no sense to me. Tomatoes are coming in full swing. You can't grow cilantro because it's too damn hot. So you can't make pico de gallo, salsa, none of that stuff. And they go hand in hand with each other. It aggravates me, man. I'm like telling my wife, I'm going to make an air-conditioned greenhouse and we're going to grow cilantro in the summertime so we can make fresh pico.
I love that, man. So really it's just, it's less complicated than people even think it is. Grow what you like. It's going to add nutritional value
Super easy
to your life. And for people who want to get started and start into this process, subscribe to Heller's Harvest. We're going to have all their social links, YouTube links below. You can learn everything you need to know from those videos. And I assume if people want to reach out to you directly,
absolutely,
you could guide them to wherever, whatever videos they need to see. For somebody who's diving into this, because we talk about that time piece, and I think that's the one thing that people are going to keep coming back to. How much time do you think realistically, if somebody's just like, hey, I just want a super small operation just to get a few things for me and my family that is healthy, grown by us, how much time do you think roughly a week people invest in that?
You could do that small, 10 minutes a day.
10 minutes a day. If you guys listening cannot find 10 minutes a day to invest into your health in this capacity, then you might need to look at a massive restructuring of your priorities.
Yeah.
So
you're going to spend 3 hours a day later on at the doctor's.
Exactly. So we bring this up for you guys just so you know that these limitations, these stories we tell ourselves about these things that we may not even have experience with or understand are most of the time completely false. Like these limitations we build for ourselves do not exist. And what we have to do is get to a spot where we start to reconnect with that humanity within ourselves. We start to look at the opportunity in the face of challenge instead of finding excuses, instead of finding limitations, instead of finding those reasons we can't do something. Because that opportunity is always there. It's always accessible. It's always attainable. And the reward we yield from it is so much infinitely more bountiful than any amount of time we might save by avoiding it.
When you sit down, like at our house, we sit down to a full dinner plate. Every single thing, from the meat to the vegetable, the potato, everything on that plate came from our hands.
Yeah.
I got these two out here in the garden with me all the time.
Yeah.
Come on, we're going to go do a video. Okay. They love it.
Yeah.
And I ask them, well, are you guys going to grow a garden?
Most likely, yeah. We have a farm.
Yeah.
What are you going to grow, Zion?
Everything. I love it.
You get your kids involved in this too, because as they get older, they're going to be feeding their family like this. And it's going to just continue on. Yeah. You remember everything growing up of all that stuff. And it's always been, it had to be just itching at you, man, inside of you to grow something. It had to. And when you're eating all this stuff from the grocery store, and you're like, I'll give you an example. My wife, the first time I gave her our broccoli, she's eating it and she's looking at me. I'm like, what? She's like, this is really strong. I said, this ain't strong. No, this is how broccoli's supposed to taste. Yeah. You haven't been eating this your whole life, And now, if we eat vegetables outside of our own, you can tell, it's a vast difference in flavor.
Yeah.
That's super important.
Probably makes it hard to go to a restaurant at that point because flavor difference.
You got to do date night for the wife, man, or you're going to, you'll be in a bad way.
Got to go out and get that steak and potato and
fine, I'll go.
Or whatever.
Give me the 32-ounce prime rib.
All right, Brother Austin, you got anything else?
Thank you so much for being on.
Thanks for joining
Absolutely.
us, man. If people want to connect with you, we've got all those social links below. People can reach out to you directly. You'll get them all the resources and videos you guys got. What's next for Heller's Harvest?
We're just going to keep plugging along, going the way we're going. I've refused a whole bunch of stuff. I'll work with companies that I like, that I believe in, and hopefully, we just take off and start growing from there.
Yeah.
I want to get bigger and keep doing this and just get this out to as many people as I can. If I have converted 6 people, I feel good about that. I want as many people as I can get on there. I'm 52 years old. I've never had any major medical issues at all.
Yeah.
And I've lived like this a long time. It's proof positive it works.
Yeah.
So as many people as I can turn on to this. And we don't just garden. In the wintertime, I did show how to skin a deer, how to butcher a deer,
nice.
the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
I want to do one for fish too.
Yeah.
How to fillet a fish, catch your own fish. This is all just stuff that your dad or your grandpa or one of your relatives showed you when you were growing up, man. It should be universal. Everybody should know how to do it.
Yeah.
Provide for yourself.
That's awesome. I love that, man.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, you know the rule. We don't run any ads on this show. We don't stop these conversations to talk about some product that we don't even use ourselves. The only thing we ask from you is if you got something out of today's episode, which I know you absolutely did. This is one you're probably gonna have to listen to a couple times, honestly, to really get everything out of it. Then copy that link and share it with as many people as you know whom you believe it would help. Because at the end of the day, that is how we do everything we're striving for at Impossible Performance. Because at Impossible Performance, we are building a global culture of strength, fostering a spirit of growth in constant pursuit of the impossible. Thank you guys for listening, and as always, be impossible.